we need to shift our mentality away from a mediator as person to mediating as space. And the space generally is filled with something that's more akin to teams, to sets of people, than it is to a particular person. Mm-hmm. And in that reference, what it points toward is that you can have sets of people who connect to different parts, but who collaborate, who find a common space for the benefit of both their particular piece of it and the wider whole. Mm-hmm. So I think we've done ourselves a disservice to a large degree by positing mediation onto the person. And so I pushed just recently, and in the new book coming out, I have a chapter on this, the notion of mediative space and the significance that it has in social. But the second one is, I go back to my early experiences with this in Denver, because it was ripe for me at the time. Some of these cases that were from recently arrived, especially the recently arrived communities from Mexico and Central America. At that time, the wars in Central America were producing a pretty massive movement north into the continent. And there would be situations that came to like CDR, that kind of a context, but they wouldn't speak English, and so I would engage myself trying to sort through it. So my early experiences, you'd be commonly trained that you would call people up, you'd set a time to meet, you'd set a place to meet. And I had a number of early experiences where I'd go and nobody'd show. Or one person would come, the other one would come. And then you could begin your process of just, projecting. What are the reasons for this? And, one projection would be, you call these people, they're not responsible, or, who knows what. The other would be that, where are you calling them to? What's their sense of what's happening, and how do they see you? And so I began to move much more in the direction that instead of calling people, I'd go to their space. And and what would happen? So I remember one clear case of two sisters. There was an issue of some family stuff that had fallen apart in a house that they were supposed to share and they couldn't, and they were, it was a wider extended family. You show up, you talk with the one sister, the kids are there, the mother-in-law is there. It's not your mediation session where you suddenly are right in the middle of the web. But guess what? That's where everything's.
That's where it happens.
Where it's all
in the living room.
Yeah, and you rethink your whole process away from the paraphernalia that we offer up as the key things for creating the stage, right? To move in the direction of actually entering the way it actually is in order to understand what it is that can be helpful at that time. But guess what else happens? You develop some trust. I can guarantee you that Thursday morning somebody's going to call. By the way, there's this other problem with my uncle. There's this other thing going here. Would you mind taking a letter? So you now are intersected more holistically in life of that community, because you're not visualized as a professional, narrow role that stops and starts in the 60-minute time period. Mm-hmm. And that when we're done, we're done. This is it, people. You're not supposed to talk to me anymore now.